Hi guys, it's Amy here and welcome back to the Fitness Hustle. We are going to talk about more of the group fitness today and the hustle that goes along with it to keep being the best in the fitness industry. So last week I talked about becoming a group fitness instructor, which, you're going through those certs, you're going through everything. And if you didn't watch that one, go back and read that or watch that episode. I believe it was episode 7. And this week what I want to do is talk about you become a group fitness instructor. How do you become the best one and stay successful in doing that? And, keep growing, because we want to keep growing, right? As an instructor, really with any job that you do, you want to be able to keep providing and inspiring people. So there's a couple things that I have here that I want to kind of go over. The number one thing that I have is you have to keep learning, right? Keep learning from your classes, keep learning from experts, keep learning from your boss, your gym, whoever. Keep learning what you need to change, or what people are thinking, or what you maybe can do to make things better. Feedback is huge, and I know a lot of people don't like feedback because they don't want to hear the bad stuff, but in all honesty, if you only hear the good stuff and never hear the bad stuff, you're never going to be able to grow. So you need to be able to take the good and the bad. I hope there's a lot of great stuff too, but there's always room for improvement with every single person, even the top people. There's always something to improve or something that they can grow on. So you want to make sure that you're always learning, you're getting education, you're researching things. If a question comes up in class and you don't know, that's a perfect opportunity to take that back and say, okay, you know what, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and next week when we come to class, I'm gonna let you know what it is. Or find somebody that has the answer. So keep learning. It makes you a better instructor, it makes you a better person, and it's going to help you tenfold. Number 2, you want to make sure that you have variety. We can't just give people one thing. And I know a lot of people may do one exercise or one type of exercise, but you want to make sure that there's variety. Variety is the spice of life, right? So you want to make sure if you offer some cardio, maybe offer some strength training. If you offer strength training and don't offer cardio, kind of throw some of that in. Maybe adding some mobility, some flexibility, some yoga type inspiration. Those things, making sure that there's a well-rounded balance. Each one of those helps the other kind of area. So your cardio is going to help your strength, and your flexibility is going to help your it's all kind of tied in there. So make sure that you're giving yourself and your participants a well-rounded kind of workout, or well-rounded options. Whether they take them or not is up to them, but we understand the importance. And I have to say here, one of the things that's missed so much is we went through this area, right, where it was like the Tough Mudders and the CrossFits, and then there's the Ninja Warriors, and there's all this stuff, and it's like this crazy, like, I gotta go hard all the time. And classes started to reflect that, where we were going hard all the time. And we weren't taking time for stretching. We weren't taking time for mobility. We weren't taking time to kind of give our body a rest. Forgetting about all that stuff is going to end up only hurting us in the long run. So we want to make sure that we're offering that variety too, for them and for us. Number 3, probably one of the most important here. You want to make sure that you're building a community. People come to group fitness because they want to be part of a group. They want to belong, and they want to feel kind of that sense of camaraderie. And you are in charge of that group. So it's up to you to help kind of build that community. Build that community with your inspiration. Build that community with having to introduce people to other people, knowing people's names. That's a huge thing that we should be doing, right? And if you're bad at getting people's names and knowing people's names, maybe we'll do another thing on that. But know their names, get to know them, right? If they're not in class, we got to a point at our studio where if somebody wasn't in class for 2 weeks, not only was I asking about them, but everybody else in the class was like, where have you been? I haven't seen you. And that's the type of kind of environment that's so nice, because it's like you're part of that little family, you're part of that community, and it just makes people feel so much, they feel more important. They feel like somebody cares, and we should care, and we do care. So, build that community. There's many different types and ways to do that, and I'll do that in a whole other episode on just building the community. Focus on non-scale victories. Non-scale victories, those are your other things besides your weight, right? I know a lot of fitness instructors, they'll go into things and they're like, okay, well, you can burn this many calories, and if you burn this many calories, you're going to lose this, and if you stay with me, people are losing 10, 15 pounds, and all this stuff. And fitness is so much more than just the weight game, if you will. It's so much more than how you look. It's so much more about how you feel. It's those non-scale victories. Are you sleeping better? Can you touch your toes? How's the doctor saying your cholesterol is? Those types of things. Are you able to have more endurance? We used to have one participant come to the gym, and she just wanted to be able to keep up with her grandkids. So working out gave her that endurance to be able to do that. Those are the non-scale victories that are so important, and we need to focus sometimes on that health part, not just on the fitness or not just on the scale. So make sure that you're doing that, because that's a big thing. And I know it's not common. It's not common in the fitness world to focus on that, because, right, that doesn't always bring in with the marketing, like, hey, lower your cholesterol. It's not going to get people running to your class. I get it. People are going to come if they can feel like they're going to lose this or do this or have more muscles or whatever. But the reality of it is that while they can have all that, you really can't promise anything. But we want to make sure that they know that they're getting benefits, even if they're not necessarily seeing them physically. So that's a huge part that's going to help you stay and become successful with group fitness. All right, so also with, those non-scale victories and being able to kind of go from the health and the fitness, the other thing, and this also ties back into the keep learning, is know your scope. Group fitness instructors, they can't give out nutrition advice unless you have a nutrition background, unless you've taken the appropriate education to be able to give that advice. So, you get a lot of people that come in and they're like, oh, well, what should I eat? Or do you have a recommended diet? Or how many calories should I be eating today? Or this or that. And we don't have the ability to give out that type of advice. Now, you could say, well, before I work out, I have this as a suggestion, but it's not like you can't put them on a plan. You can't do that. You have to have that knowledge, dietitian, nutritionalist. You have to be able to have them. So if you want to kind of help people out in that level as well, partner with somebody. Find someone local that you can talk with or refer people to say, when you have this issue, I know the best person to talk with you and that can help you with this, because this is now out of my scope and they're going to know way more about it. And that's better than trying to make people, give them whatever your advice is, because what they do versus what you do isn't going to be the same. So pass along the information when you can. It's going to make you a better instructor. It's going to make you a better person. And you're going to get some networking in there, which is also going to hopefully go the other way. You're going to have that person that you hook up with that does nutrition, does diets, does all that different stuff. And when they have somebody that's now like, okay, I'm working with this person on their diet, but you know what? They really need to get active. I'm going to recommend you to help them with personal training or group fitness or whatever it may be, and it comes back to you. So finding that partner, if you will, or group is going to help both of you become more successful in what you're doing. The other thing too that you want to be careful of, and is kind of just, I see this a lot with instructors, is your scope of practice when it comes to injuries, when it comes to medical things. I'll see a lot of instructors and they go on Facebook and they're like, somebody in my class has this, this, or this. What should they do? So, number one, don't go to Facebook looking for medical advice on what a person should do. The first thing, and the only thing that you should do, if somebody comes in and says, hey, I just had knee surgery, or I just had this, or whatever the situation is, you should be referring them back to their medical practitioner, their doctor, their whoever, to say, you need to ask them what your limitations are, what you can and cannot do. Let me know, and I can give you modifications to be able to adapt so that you still get a great workout within the constraints of what you should and shouldn't do. Don't start going out there and going, oh yeah, well my knee hurt the other day and I just took it easy and I didn't jump and I did all these other things and it was fine for me. So if you take it easy, it'll be fine for you too, because that's not the case and we don't want somebody to get injured. So don't start giving out medical advice. Don't start, telling people what they can and can't do if they don't know because of some type of injury or a medical thing. So be very careful with that. Another thing that helps to be successful and just is going to help in the long run is you need to treat it, it's fun, but you still need to treat it like a job. And what I mean by that is be prepared, be organized, be consistent. They see it, meaning the participants that come in, they see it as, you're giving them, they're paying for a service and you're giving them that service. So they expect certain things from you. They expect you to be on time. They expect you to be organized and know what class it is. They expect you to give them a good workout and have those things kind of thought out. They expect that you keep them safe. And they expect that you're working with them throughout the week to week to week to week. So you just want to make sure that you treat it, you're a professional, you own that class, and come prepared and make sure you're giving them that best workout. It's very easy sometimes, included in myself, where we just kind of look at it as like, this is our fun time, right? I don't see it necessarily as a job, but it still is. I still have responsibilities that I have to do before and afterwards. I still have things that I need to make sure that I focus on during the class, regardless how much fun I'm having. And we can't forget about those responsibilities. The last thing I want to cover is you need to remember that it's all about them. This isn't your workout. To be really successful in group fitness, you need to understand that every time you walk into that room, your focus is 150% them. Yes, you may do some of the workout, and yes, you're going to get them started, but this isn't your workout. This isn't your time to shine and show people how many burpees you can do or how many push-ups. They could care less. Your job is to make sure that they're doing more push-ups week by week by week. Your job is to make sure that they are progressing and that they have every tool that they need to be able to do that. Your job is to make them safe. Your job is to motivate them. Your job is to take care of them. And it is very clear with classes. When you walk into a class, if the class is all about the teacher or the instructor versus if the class is all about the class. So don't forget why you're doing it. You're doing it because you love them. You're doing it because you want to help them. You're doing it because you want to inspire them. That doesn't mean, again, you can't work out sometimes. It doesn't mean that you can't get down there and do push-ups, but you need to make sure that you're taking care of them. That will show your dedication, your care, and that will go a long way into what people say. When they can come out of that class feeling successful every single time because they were corrected or they were helped and now they've progressed and you're the reason why that happened, they're gonna tell more people, they're going to love you and keep coming back, and you're gonna feel good and they're gonna feel good. So you wanna make sure that you focus on them. Please focus on them. It's why we do what we do. So group fitness, like I've said in my last one, or my earlier episode where I talked about becoming a group fitness instructor and how it's the best job in the world, it literally is the best job, and you can do so much with it. You can inspire so many people, and I know it can be frustrating because you can walk into a class and you're like, I didn't do anything. I came in, I taught class, everybody left. I guarantee you though, you're helping somebody. It could just be helping somebody relieve stress for the day. It could be helping somebody with their non-scale victories. It could be helping somebody where they're just taking a break. Whatever it is, know. Even though you're not being told, know that you're doing something phenomenal. You're doing something that can't kind of be replaced, and it's going to make the world a better place. So don't give up on ever doing fitness, group fitness. Don't give up on your classes, and keep learning, keep going to become even better for you, for your classes, and for everyone. So if you found something that you're like, every successful fitness instructor has this, I'd love to know about it, you can go on my Facebook page, The Fitness Hustle. You can go on the Instagram. You can comment here on the YouTube, or if we're on the podcast, you can go to one of those other places. But I'd love to hear what you think a successful fitness instructor has to have, or what you need to do to be successful and stay successful. So, all part of the hustle, right, that we have to go through, and we're going to continue to keep moving on. I'm so glad you joined, and I'm so lucky that you joined and you listened to me today. I appreciate it, and I'll be back next week, and we will talk again soon.